We're in PDAC2015 in Toronto, Canada, and I'm at the Australian Pavilion. Now, the Australian Pavilion consists of the states of Australia being represented in Canada for the assets that we have in Australia. And not just the physical assets, but also bringing capital, finance and investment in. With me right now is Charlie Dowsett, who's the Executive Director of the Investment Support. And Charlie, thank you very much for talking with me right now. Now, you've come up to Canada with the New South Wales and in a larger scope, the Australian team. What exactly are you hoping to achieve here?
Yeah, so Tim, I'm looking at two things. One, we're actively promoting the prospectivity of New South Wales, that we have a lot of available land and for exploration in New South Wales. So we bring over a geological expert as well as an expert in industry development to help showcase what opportunities are in New South Wales. And then the second reason why we're here is we've gone out to industry and we've found that investors want to know real investment prospects. So we have a portfolio of a number of companies that are looking for investment, and they have deals on the table now, and we help promote and support the meeting of those with those opportunities with investors.
So you see, really, the role of this is to engage at a level, not just the resource level for the opportunities that we have in Australia, but also in the capital markets.
Indeed, it's really getting the message out there, and New South Wales has a lot of similarities with areas within Canada. We have a very similar culture, and so what we're doing is it makes it very sensible for Canadian companies to look to come and invest in New South Wales because of those similarities. They can really come into New South Wales and get going straight away.
So if you're if you're in Canada and you're looking for a resource, of course you've got all that information available. You've got USB with 8 gigs of data that gives you access to your information.
Yeah, so we're making people aware of the information that the department puts together, especially through our Geological Survey. A lot of that information is world leading, and but people need to be aware of it. And what's good about it is that where we have access to it, we can show them how to access that primarily through online mechanisms. And and the beauty about that is a lot of that information is quite valuable, and it's for free.
It's free, yeah. Which is a great asset for anyone offshore wanting to look at Australian resources. They can do it electronically from a desktop.
Indeed, it's all about the work we do, or the Geological Survey do, is about a certain degree of de-risking. So to really make exploration more targeted and actually to encourage exploration further.
But as well as the geological data, you also have title status, so you can see what land or what resources are available.
Yeah, so it's important. For a potential investor who can sit at their desk, whether it be in Toronto, and actually do some initial work themselves and actually apply and show them how they can, if they're set up properly, is actually apply for title from Toronto.
And so what we're talking about, Charlie, is this state here,
yes,
aren't we?
Indeed.
Are there any particular high points about these assets that you'd just like to quickly mention?
Well, I think it's more about there is a lot of resources available, so it's proven resources that are currently unpegged. So there's a lot of opportunity there where there's a known resource. People can actually hone their exploration even to a greater degree or a large amount of de-risking, because they say, I'm looking for gold, and we can say we can prove there's gold in this area, and it just requires more capital investment to prove up those resources.
How are you finding the reception now? Because we have right now in Australia, we have a great data, we've got great assets. How do you feel this has been over the last couple of days here at PDAC? How do you feel this has been connecting with the Canadian market?
I think like back home we can say that our explorers are doing it tough, and I think it's also it's safe to say that the Canadian market's doing it tough as well. But there's still interest in good projects. So if they want to know known resources, and if there's a good prospect, then they're very interested. We're still finding there is money around, so that's what we're trying to do on that side of things.
Great. So if you didn't visit the Australian booth in Canada and you're watching this video and you'd like to find out how to engage with this opportunity, the New South Wales Government website, nsw.gov.au.
Well, you'd go to resourcesandenergy.newsouthwales.gov.au.
And there's a pathway there to pick up the data. There's also contact points.
There is. My name is on there as a contact point. We really want. We're really encouraging and we actually changed the website to trying to make it more user friendly, to allow potential investors to navigate it a lot easier and quicker. But also, if you can't find what you're looking for, is really contact us.
Yeah.
Give us a call on that side of things. I'd like to talk a bit about I have a branch within Resources and Energy that is the branch of facilitating investment. So we are there to, one is help investors navigate government, but also on the export side as well. So and that's predominantly with the METs. So we have a lot of.
What is METs for people who may not understand?
The Mining, Extractive and Technology Services. So a lot of the mining services. So what we're really trying to do is, Australians have a real competitive advantage in our intellectual property and our engineering, and the rest of the world should know about that, and there is opportunity. So we're trying to help facilitate that, as well as bringing in new capital on projects.
I think it's probably worth mentioning finally that inside the department you're able to allocate resources at no cost to investors or people wanting to look at the resources in Australia, or be allocated some expertise within your department. So that's you can assign that expertise, and that doesn't cost them, and they can assist you with finding that data.
Yeah. So we have, if you have, there's probably two stages. If you have a project in New South Wales, you will have a person dedicated to you, looking after you and helping you through the processes of government, and also with other contacts that you might need, especially through, let's say, supply chain. The other side of that is if you're looking to come into New South Wales, we have dedicated people that will help facilitate you and provide those contacts, and again help you through what rules and regulations you might need to go through, and also contacts with if there's anything on the federal side of things as well.
Charlie Dowsett, Executive Director for Trade and Investment Support, thank you very much.
Thanks, Timothy.